226 is the school zip code, 46226. All right, here we go. We are behind the other group, so now we're really going to be behind. We need to get moving. So we are ready. We're in P3, and we're talking about linear equations and inequalities. So anything in the form, like an example, the definition's there, but an example would be like this. That is a linear equation. Okay? Put this in there, now it is a linear inequality. There are properties for equate. Were you on our line? I couldn't find you. Were you at the 35? Yeah. Okay. There are properties of equations and inequalities. We already did equations. The inequalities kind of mirror that. There is a transitive property of inequality, an addition property of inequality, and a multiplication property of inequality. Now, the other day we talked about the transitive law. What did we say? What's the transitive property of equations? What is it?
A equals B, and then B equals C, and then A equals.
So it's an if then. So
yeah.
If A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. Does it make sense to you that we could say if A is less than B and B is less than C, then A would be less than C? Does that make sense to you? And of course, instead of being less thans, those could be greater thans. Wouldn't matter. Right? Notice there's no reflexive or symmetric. What does the reflexive property say? A equals A. Can we say A is less than A? No, so there's no reflexive. How about symmetric? What does the symmetric property of equality say? If A equals B, then B equals A. Can we say if A is less than B, then B is less than A?
No.
No, so there are no reflexive and symmetric, but there is a transitive. The addition property says if A is less than B, then A plus C is less than B plus C. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. If I'm already out of balance and you put the same weight on both hands, I'm going to stay just like I am. How about if A is less than B, then AC is less than BC? This one I put a little star by to kind of caution you. Does anybody know what the caution is?
Negative?
Okay, this is true if C is positive. What happens if the number that you multiply by is negative?
The sign switches.
Then the sign switches. So, if A is less than B, then AC is greater than BC if C is negative. The sign is going to flip. All right, got equations to solve here. Some of them are pretty easy. Anybody have a question about these properties? Let's not get these confused with commutative and associative and distributive. Those are properties of operations, add and times. These are properties of equality or inequality. All right. Do I have any volunteers who would be willing to come up and solve problem A on the board? You can come by yourself or with a friend. It's just a little equation. And then B is a little inequality. I need this one solved. So quickly, guys, you don't have much time. Who will do this for me? Hey, you don't have to raise your hand. Just run up and grab one. Grab your favorite. Come on, you sit there. Come on. And you can either solve it by yourself, or you can have a friend help you out.
These are the same. I think they're so this one's like all about yeah, it's the same. It's just like properties of equality are like equals the same versus
Everybody should be working on this.
inequality is like
Everybody solve it.
you have to multiply it Why'd you do
Helen,
it? Why'd you
did
do
you
it?
put that in interval notation? Yeah. The parentheses brackets thing.
Oh, you're multiplying.
When our answer, so when we're doing inequalities, we're gonna try to remember
Well, yeah,
the
I
answer.
could have definitely done it like you said that.
But yeah, I was the exact same thing. Yeah. I was just lost in here for me.
I don't know why I was thinking of it like that.
It's yours. Is that like it's kind of what I just
Good work. Good work. It looks like for this one, the strategy was to multiply everything by 8.
I don't know why I wrote it like that.
It's fine. We get the idea. Multiplied everything by 8, and that just got rid of all the fractions. That's one strategy. You can do it other ways too, but that's fine. Does anyone have a question about either one of these? We good? All right, got 2 more. How about C and D? Need 2 more volunteers. By yourself or with a partner. Do you have a bad marker?
Yeah, this one.
Doesn't work.
It might work.
I got her in, use black, that's better anyhow. What do they got? 3. Alright, I need, oh, good.
That's what I did.
What do you do? Okay, so for
Oh, you're right.
C, it looks like we multiplied everything by 12. That okay with everybody? She's almost done with D already. Let's talk about that. I think. Oh, here. That's a plus. So that's how it changed. That changed these things, right?
Yeah, negative 2. I don't understand why they come up with this.
as fast as they can at the board. What do you think? Got it? Thumbs up all the way around? Everybody good? Love it, all right. Does this notation make sense to everybody, that since x is between -7 and 5, we're talking about just the part of the number line between -7 and 5. All right, we got 2 more, I think. Oh no, 3 more. Let's do E and F. So volunteer for E. Somebody new. Can't be a repeat. And F.
Big owl. You got it? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, there you go.
Such a gentleman.
Of course. I'm grossly confused.
Fred took on the challenge. Fred's got a
I respect it.
big problem.
I think I'm like kind of getting close, but I can't really tell. Yeah, come on.
How does it feel about that?
How you feel about it? We're gonna talk about it. You did a great job. Thank you, Fred.
He doesn't.
This one, we just got a little arithmetic mistake. What's -4 plus 15?
No way.
That would be 11.
No way.
So this should be -5. And my answer is -5/7, and I think that's what I got. Did anybody else get that? If you got that far, this is number F.
Oh, sorry, it is.
I was working on E. E stumped me.
E is a crazy problem. Somebody did D a minute ago. I think it was Avery did D a minute ago, and you were allowed to leave it all together and just start moving things around because you only had one X, and it was right in the middle of the problem, right? So it was exactly where you wanted it. Fred does not have that. Fred has X's all over. So Fred has to split his problem and recognize that -3 plus 2x is less than this, and this is less than 6x minus 5. You see Fred's split there? And that word is really important, because what does that word tell me I'm going to be looking for? Where this answer overlaps this answer? Okay, so let's find my answers. he times it by 7. That looks really good. X is less than 22/9. So I'm going to look at it on the number line. That will look like this. That is absolutely perfect. Okay? Absolutely. All right, now look at Fred's second half.
This is Ford. Yeah. If I come into the Eagle High School, I'm already doing that.
Don't tell me I'm wrong. She looks like she has at least 5 doctorates and IQ 160.
Alright, you guys are all going out. There's no way.
I'm complimenting you. I teach you trigonometry.
No, I guess it's different. The first one's good. The first one? The second one, right now.
She didn't mean it. They didn't write
You can't be walking up into this classroom until you catch a lane.
Until what?
Until you catch a lane.
Bro, no,
Please.
Oh, yeah. You got anything else?
Is it UCT?
Yeah, let me know when he was 28%.
No, I'd be making fun of
Oh, I know, I heard you. They don't need that. You can grab it. See what somebody else. I use my left foot to drive. And we let you guys are Bro, I really saw your video. I mean, I think it's I just think it's like add up to make it go up.
Wait, so when you
Yeah,
get
it's like it's like 128. You can't do that because that's just keeping the portion. So you gotta line up there. Yeah.
I hate how none of the races are like good. They're all like manufactured. They don't understand that it's
Robert Brayson, I could do that. This is 4 year,
All right.
that thing again.
Here we
Like,
go.
I have it, I'm like 36 times 9. 27.
What?
What?
Are you serious?
She did calculus as a freshman.
Wait, what does she do after that?
All right, we gotta get going.
In college or high school?
Okay, so we're gonna times by 7. Negative 37x less than negative 36. Fred, so far I'm loving this. And then that becomes positive 36/37, right? And I have to be bigger than that. So here's 36/37. And I have to be bigger than that. So what's my answer? Everything in between. So our answer is 36/37, comma, 22/9. Do you understand why that problem had to be split? And Avery's didn't. Okay, and you understand that when you split it, that is always gonna be an and, because this guy is sitting in between those two.
So when it's an or, is it like on the outsides?
Well, no, it doesn't have to be. When it's an or, it's everything that's shaded. So, for example, if this problem had been an or, it isn't. What is shaded?
Everything.
So the answer would be all going. Yep. When you have an or, you solve each piece, and then anything that's shaded is the answer. Okay? So a lot of times it's both ends, but it doesn't have to be.
Would you want us to put that in regular notation?
What? All real numbers?
Yeah.
Negative infinity to infinity. Yep. Yep, we're gonna try to always do that. This one we already talked about and it is right. Okay. G. last one. Let's just do this one together, because then we gotta get to our calculator and solve some on our calculator. Okay, so G, we have 2y minus 3 over 2, plus 3y minus 1 over 5, less than y minus 1. Okay, this was easy after Fred. Fred had the big one. So what would you like to do? Alex?
Multiply by 10.
I would. So if I multiply by 10, and some of you don't need to write this down, I know that. But if I do, I'm gonna have 10y minus 15 plus 6y minus 2 less than 10y minus 10. Don't let me make a mistake, I'm kind of rushing. Are we good? All right, so over here I got 16y minus 17. So I'm gonna end up with 6y less than 7. Did you get y less than 7/6?
Oh, yeah.
So in an interval, what would that be? Negative infinity, 7/6. Yep, perfect. Yep, Alex?
How do you know it's an and or if it's an or?
If it's a compound inequality, it's going to be and.
Okay.
Because the number in the middle is gonna be greater than this, and at the same time, it's less than this, right? I guess I'm backwards for how you're looking, but yeah, so that's always gonna be an and. Now, there are situations where you will have ors, but not if it's that kind of problem, my friend. You need a graphing calculator. Yeah, it's required for the class, remember? Did I not tell you that? I spoke, it's on your handout, it's on the thing. You gotta have a graphic calculator. If you don't, I can't remember, did I tell you, if you don't wanna buy one, for whatever reason, Cathedral has a loaner program, you just see me after school, and I will check one out for you, but you sign a contract saying that you will pay for it. And they hunt you down. The business office will come after you, if you don't, if you lose it or break it or something. All right, so if you don't have yours today, find somebody who does, because we are going to do, these two problems, solving on the calculator. Now, there are at least two different ways that are pretty popular for solving something like this, okay? So the first thing, just so we are all looking at the same picture, would you go up here where it says window? See where it says window? And we need it to be set in the standard window. So that standard window is negative 10 to 10 on the x's and the y's. So don't worry about your scale should be 1. We're not going to change that hardly ever, but have negative 10 to 10 as your standard window.
Copy those settings.
So your y min is negative 10, your y max is 10, your x min is negative 10, your x max is 10. All that's doing, kids, is this. In a minute, you're going to graph something. And it is just setting the bounds for the picture that you see. And the only reason I'm doing it is so that we all are seeing the same exact picture. Because if our windows are different, our pictures will look different. Okay? So this is our window. Now, go to y equals. We're going to go through one way of doing it. Okay, go to y equals. And if there's something in there already, like there is in mine, hit clear. And type in this right here. So x X, look where I'm pointing, this is my X variable button. If I press that button, it gives me an X. See where this finger is, my index finger? Depending on what mode you're in, that's gonna give you different variables. We are in function mode, so we're gonna get an X. And then I have a squared button, so I'll just hit squared. And then minus, that's just your minus button, 2X. Now, go down, arrow down, so now we're down to Y2, and type in the other half of the equation, which is 3. So you have two equations in there. You have an equation for the left side, and you have an equation for the right side. Okay? Now, press graph. And you should get a handy-dandy little parabola and a line running across like that. Is that what you got?
Oh, I did that last.
Now, these 2 points are exactly where they're equal to each other. Okay, that's where this side and this side match. This area right here is where the left side is less than the right side. It's underneath, right? So my answer is going to be something like this interval of numbers. I just need to figure out what those endpoints are. So it's real easy. Press second calc. So calc is up here. It says trace, but right above it, it says calc. Find it? Okay. Now it gives you a whole bunch of options. We want intersect. We are looking for where they intersect each other. So go down to intersect and press enter. You should see a cursor, right? Move the cursor to the left. Is it going up the parabola?
Yeah.
Okay, after you get it up there somewhere, it doesn't matter where, but up here somewhere, press enter. Now, press your cursor to the right. Now it's on the line, and press it till it's over here somewhere. And press enter. So in other words, what are we doing? We're surrounding that point. Press enter. And then, what's your calculator asking you for? What does it say?
Yes.
Yes? All right, where do you think it is? Oh, just move it over till it's about on that point and press enter. And that point of intersection is the point -1, 3. Does it make sense to you that that would be a 3?
Yeah.
Where's this line?
Looks like
3?
On the first curve.
So now we have our x coordinate is -1. Now we're going to repeat for this point. So second calc, intersect. Now you're looking for this point. So you need to move your cursor so it's over here somewhere. So move it over, somewhere over there, doesn't matter where, just somewhere over there, enter. Then move the cursor so it's out here somewhere. Press enter. And then take a guess, and that is the point 3, 3.
Why do we surround the points like when we're before we do the guess thing?
Because that the calculator needs to, because there are 2 points of intersection. And if you don't tell it which one you're looking for, it can't do it. It gets all confused. So you need to say, find the point of intersection in this area. And then find the point of intersection in this
Alright,
area.
that makes sense.
Otherwise it doesn't know.
I'm confused, like, why you chose to mark it where you did. Like, how did you just have to do it like the 2 closest points or something from the intersection?
If you are looking for this 0, or this point of intersection right here, then you need to tell the calculator, I want you to find the point of intersection that's in this space. This space is great, but so would this space be great? Any space is great as long as it's surrounding the point that you're looking for.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, you can't set it out here I was just telling Enzo, because things get all confusing then, because there's two answers in there. So you have to surround the answer that you're looking for, okay?
So then, like, if I put the point that you put at the bottom of the parabola, like up, over,
Up here?
like
It
even
wouldn't
up.
make a difference.
Around.
As long as it's to the left of what I'm looking for, it doesn't make a difference. You need one bound on the left.
Yeah.
So it's, the calculator says first curve. You need that point on the left of the point you're looking for.
That makes
And then
sense.
second curve will be on the right.
And 1 point, like per line, I'm assuming.
Calculator takes care of that, you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
And once you press enter, it's immediately gonna move to the second curve. Okay? Now, these came out really, really easy numbers, because that's factorable. Normally, you're gonna get decimal, hideous decimals, and that's okay, we're gonna round them off to the nearest thousand, and that's gonna be our answer. So this x value is -1, this x value is 3, this is 4, why are you only using the x's? Because I am solving for x. I want to be below, so my answer is here. What if I switched this sign, guys? What if I switched that?
You put the
What would be my answer then?
3 negative 1.
Negative infinity to -1, or 3 to infinity. Because if I wanted the parabola to be bigger than the line, wouldn't I be out here and out here?
So it starts at infinity.
Right? Same point of intersection, I'd just be looking at a different part of the graph. All right, that's one way to do the problem. We're gonna run out of time, so let me just show you the other way, kind of popular, common way to do the problem. The other way we can do it is to go ahead and move, this was the less than, right? Go ahead and move the 3 over, so now you have a 0 over there. Go back to y equals, clear out everything. And then type in the whole equation. Now, not this part, just this part right here. Type that in. So, x squared minus 2x minus 3. And obviously you only type in one thing, so you're only gonna get one curve.
So then
Where is it gonna be less than 0?
under 0.
Here, right? So now we go to the calculator, whoa, in the second calc, but instead of choosing intersect, we choose zeros. And then everything else is the same. All right, practice that a little bit. We'll do the second one tomorrow. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Let's see, this is period A. You're welcome. See ya.
I'm understanding this.
Yeah, me too.
Bring those calculators.
I've never had to use that.
Have a great day.